Why, hello there. It's X-Rays and welcome back to a new episode of Gaming Nightmares. Last week we covered the very impressive creepypasta surrounding Lavender Town and Pokemon. If you haven't missed it, feel free to check it out. It's going to be in the description below. But in today's episode, we're going to be covering a very highly requested gaming nightmare, the Tails Doll Curse. Before I actually jump into the actual creepypasta and read it for you guys, I want to give you a little bit of insight, a little backstory to how this whole thing actually happened, the game, all that good stuff. So, before Sega became just a regular development company, they actually made their own consoles. And I actually was a huge fan of their consoles back when they had the Sega Genesis. And I was a huge fan of Fatal Fury. It was just an amazing game. It was one of the first games I actually played, and Sonic was a big character for Sega. You know, if Nintendo had Mario, then Sega had Sonic. And the impressive thing was, even though Nintendo did have this huge mascot that they had, which was Mario, Sega was actually pretty even with them. Mario is just as recognizable as Sonic, which is something that I think was pretty hard to do. So at the time when 2D was actually going to 3D gaming, Nintendo was doing a great job of doing 3D games. We had Super Mario 64, and then the big thing that was very popular at the time was kart racing games. You know, there were games like Star Wars Squadron, and of course, Mario Kart 64. So Sega's smart. They know that, this is the big thing. They went from 2D to 3D, and now they're doing racing games. So they wanted in on this. They wanted in on this deal. So they ended up making a game called Sonic R, which is supposed to be Sonic Racing. And the game actually did pretty horribly. Bad controls, bad maps, the soundtrack was horrible. Just so you guys can get an idea of the soundtrack, the only song that was in the game, I'll let you guys listen to it for a little bit.
Can you see the sun is shining on me? It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. And the sky.
That's a little backstory. It's the reason that Sonic R was even created. But with that being said, let's move on over now to the creepypasta, the story that everyone talks about when it comes to the Tails Doll Curse. Gill and his friend Noah were looking for games for their Sega Saturn at EB Games when they came across Sonic R. Gill was going to ask how much it was, but when he got to the counter, the salesman said for them to take the game for free and get out. When Noah heard the salesman say, "Take the game with you," he dropped the game he was looking at and ran over to Gill. "Did he say we could keep the game for free?" he asked. Gill was going to shake his head no when the salesman said yes. Noah grabbed Gill by his arm and the game and pulled them out of the store and to his house. When they got to Noah's house, Noah got his Sega Saturn and Sonic R and put the game in. When the game started, they didn't see Sonic or Knuckles. They only saw what looked like Tails. Noah thought that it was just a glitch or that someone hacked it, but Gill knew that it was more than a glitch or a hacked game. Much more evil. The first thing they noticed when Noah started the first race was the track was full dark red and black, and the music that was playing was "Can You Feel the Sunshine" but played backwards. Noah thought that it was a hack, but Gill thought that the game was haunted. He didn't think that their copy was the only haunted version of the game. He thought all the copies were haunted by Tails. When Noah beat the first race, he unlocked Super Sonic. Gill knew that Noah didn't get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, but Noah didn't question how he got it. But he did stand up and cheered for himself. "How did you unlock him so quickly?" asked Gill. "I don't know," Noah screamed excitedly. "Why are you questioning it, Gill?" "Something feels weird about this game," Gill said. "The game feels haunted or something." "You've been watching too many horror games," Noah said. Noah finished his second race with Super Sonic when the game said a challenger was approaching. When the challenger approaching screen faded away, the screen faded into black and stayed black for about 2 minutes. It then cut to a picture of Sonic being violently attacked by what looked to be like a stuffed animal version of Tails with a very loud screaming and laughter for a split second, then it went to the race. When the race started, Super Sonic was standing on the track by himself. After the "Ready, Set, Go" was said, Super Sonic started to move by himself. Gill looked over to Noah and saw that his hands weren't on the controller. As soon as Super Sonic crossed the finish line, Noah was able to control him, and what looked like Tails was right behind him. When Supersonic and Tails crossed the finish line, it looked like Tails won, but it said Supersonic won. That's when it said that they unlocked the Tails doll and the Tails doll curse. When this happened, Noah and Gill both looked very confused. "Is that a letter?" Noah asked Gill, and all Gill could do was nod his head. Noah went to play as a tail doll when the letter opened up. "Whatever you do, don't read that letter," Gill warned Noah. But Noah didn't listen and read it anyways. What it read was, "Can you feel the sunshine?" lyrics backwards. When Noah was done, the TV started to vibrate. Noah took a hammer and started to hit the TV with it. The TV stopped vibrating. "I stopped the TV from vibrating," Noah said. "Yes, but how do we play the game?" Gill said. "I have a TV in my room," Noah said as he unplugged the system from the now broken TV and wall. "You do know that your mom and dad are going to kill you for breaking the TV," Gill said. "I know," Noah said, "but it was worth it." They went upstairs to Noah's bedroom. When they got to Noah's bedroom, the broken TV started to vibrate again, and then the Tails doll came out. Noah and Gill were now playing a different game because of what happened. They were playing Sonic Adventure 2 on the Sega Dreamcast. When the doorbell rang, Noah and Gill went to answer the door. When they opened it up, no one was there. Noah closed the door. When the doorbell rang again, Noah opened the door and no one was there. He closed the door but kept his hands on the doorknob. The doorbell rang again, and Noah opened the door as fast as he could, but no one was there. The only thing that was there was a Tails doll. Noah brought it inside the house and washed what looked like blood off it in the kitchen sink. When he washed the blood off, he sat it up in front of a couple of dishes to dry and wet upstairs. That's when the Tails doll stood up and flew off the counter and onto the floor. He then walked to the stairs and he flew up them. Then he went to Noah's bedroom. Gill then felt like they were both being watched by something evil. "Hey Noah, do you feel like we're being watched?" Gill asked Noah. "Are you sure you don't watch horror movies?" Noah asked. "Of course I don't," Gill said. "I have to go to the bathroom." As he was walking to the bathroom, he saw something out of the corner of his eye. It looked like a Tails doll, so he turned towards his left and didn't see anything. He looked to his right and didn't see anything. He thought that it was his imagination and went to the bathroom. When he was going back to the bedroom, he saw something move, so he went to see what it was. He then saw it move again and walked towards it. Gill saw the Tails doll and walked over to pick it up and bring it to the room. When he brought it up and showed it to Noah, Noah asked Gill, "Where did you find it?" "I found it by the stairs," Gill said. "I thought I left it in the kitchen. Anyways, let's play Sonic R again," Noah said. "Don't you remember what happened?" Gill said. "Yeah, so?" "That was a freak accident," Noah said as he put the game into the Sega Saturn. He then played the tag game as a Tails doll, and as soon as he tagged the last person, the Tails doll that was in the room came to life. Noah and Gill both stood up and walked towards the door. Noah opened it and they both ran as fast as they could down the stairs and almost got to the front door, when the Tails doll fell in front of them and killed Noah with his razor-sharp claws. This made Gill very angry and he grabbed a baseball bat and started to swing at the Tails doll, each hit missing. He swung in one last time before the Tails doll caught it and broke it. Gill then stepped on its head and ran to the kitchen to get one of the kitchen knives and swung at the doll again. The Tails doll caught it again and killed Gill. The Tails doll went back into the upstairs TV. The police came to the house because the neighbors called saying that they heard a lot of noise coming from Noah's house. But when they got there, Noah and Gill were both upstairs in Noah's bedroom. One of the police officers took the Sega Saturn to the station and his partner said that there was no murder weapon. The officer took the system to his house and played the tag game with the Tails doll. The cop called an ambulance. "Is this Homerton Hospital?" "No, this is Patrick." So after reading through this creepypasta, I can't help but feel like, I don't know why exactly it's so known, why it's such a popular creepypasta. When I read this, it had a lot of grammatical errors, it didn't really flow that well, and honestly, there was a lot of situations where if it was me, I would have been like, why is all this stuff going on? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of logic going into it. For instance, when the tail doll appears just at the doorstep of the house, you wouldn't wonder, well, where the hell did this thing come from? Or just the fact that the Tails doll was bloody. Like, why would you pick up a Tails doll that was covered in blood? Other than that, it's a pretty creepy creepypasta. I gotta give it that, but it still feels like it was one of those that's like questionable at best. It's like, if it was me or if it was you in this situation, what would you personally do? Leave a comment down below with what you would do if you found a bloody Tails doll in your doorstep. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this creepypasta. I honestly thought it's one of those that's like, I guess it's just popular for the sake of being popular. It's not even that good. So let me know your thoughts. Leave some comments down below. And also, if you guys have a topic or a creepypasta you guys want me to cover next week, then feel free to leave it as a comment down below. You might see me covering it next week in next week's episode of Gaming Nightmares. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to slap a like and a favorite. It does get the video out there for more people to enjoy. So make sure to slap a make sure to slap a like and a favorite on the video. And of course, if you guys are new and you enjoy this kind of content, then make sure to sub up so you won't miss a single video. But anyways, guys, until next time, I'm X-Rays. I'm out. Peace.